Olivia Rodrigo just completed the last leg of her worldwide Guts tour.
Gross.
And a guitarist that joined her on this tour across the globe has just shared in a recent interview that Olivia Rodrigo has provided free and accessible therapy for the entire Guts tour crew, not only during the tour, but even during breaks between tour legs. And I wanted to cover this, especially with Phil joining us on the show, because I wanted to ask you if you would ever consider doing the same thing.
What?
Would you provide therapy to your crew while touring as a musician? Would you?
No.
Or would you, or have you?
No.
Done therapy while on tour?
Am I supposed to be doing the therapy? Like they come to me and I
No,
listen to their
no, no,
problems?
no,
That's the one I want to see.
No. You just
Because I'm going to tell them, shut up and get back to work.
You just have like on-call therapy
No.
for
I mean,
all
I'm a
of
man.
the people working
I'm a
for
man.
you.
I wouldn't. No. Of course
No.
not. Of course
I
not.
don't know if I've even asked you this, and you don't have to answer, but have you had experience going to therapy before?
I've gone to a couple things, yeah. And
I feel like that's
it's
most
always-
people now. Like most people have at least tried it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just garbage. I mean, no, it's not it's not garbage. In my opinion, it is geared towards the way that women function and not towards men. When for men, they tend to feel like tend to feel better when they're doing things and achieving. Women want to hear and be heard and validated. For men, if you're depressed or whatever, go out and do some stuff, find something that you're interested in and get good at it, get better at it, set goals and achieve those goals. That kind of stuff helps a man's self-esteem and psyche and stuff like that. Whereas women, they want to be heard and validated. So therapy for women, fine. I don't think that it actually fixes anything. I think it just makes them feel heard and validated, because I think that you actually have to take tangible action about whatever is causing you distress to actually fix your life. So just going to therapy and having someone listen to you complain about whatever it is, or just, to emote about whatever it is, that's not going to fix whatever's going on. But it's cool if it makes you feel better, fine. Just so long as you're doing it in conjunction with taking positive steps to fix the problems. Men, I think that you should probably just get a hobby and get good at something. You'll feel better.
We have a couple of $20 super chats. First from Nav. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Phil Mary Bread. Hope you're doing well. I beat Cyberpunk 2077 for the first time like 20 minutes ago. My ending was sad. I've learned death is very much inevitable. Oh, and screw Araska. Phil, you lost the game.
You piece of garbage.
I didn't even catch that when I was reading it until Mary read it out loud.
Wait, what?
That's the game.
What are you talking about?
It's a Gen X thing you wouldn't understand.
Phil would be able to explain it better than me, but I remember when this happened on IRL.
Okay. We have another from Weary Traveler. I went to therapy for about 2 months and it didn't work. If you're a man, go to the gym, learn a combat sport, read, etc. I mean, personally, I have had like not negative experiences going to therapy for short periods of time. I went to Catholic therapists though, who shared my values, and it wasn't a long-term thing that I thought like I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. And I also disliked it. I didn't find it helpful, and that's why I quit going. And I think it's not necessarily true that if you're a woman, it's fine. I think that a lot of women actually go to therapists to encourage them to go down self-destructive spirals and validate everything they're saying. Because, of course, why wouldn't they? They only have your side of the story. I bet a lot of women go to therapy because they have relationship turmoil in their relationships, not just romantically, but in their family. Men probably go to therapy thinking this will solve their internal turmoil. They just experience it differently. But I think it's equally ineffective for both sexes. And this is a comment from the guitarist who was provided therapy by Olivia Rodrigo. I had never had anything like that, and that reignited the importance of therapy to me because I had kind of fallen off for so long. Suddenly I had this free resource of incredible therapists, and I utilized the crap out of that. I was going, once a week, once every other week, whenever I could, and it was even during the off time. We still also had access to this resource.
I wonder if it was like BetterHelp and it's like online therapy, or if it was like an actual
Sounds like
therapist.
Zoom.
Zoom therapy.
And also, if you're going to different therapists every week, like they don't have context for anything, you're just using someone as a sounding board. I don't know. They also mentioned that Olivia Rodrigo's dad is a therapist, so that's probably a big reason why she believes in the power of therapy for people. She started therapy at the age of 16 and said it was a really big life-changing moment. Quote, "I've learned so much about myself through therapy," I believe she means. And they also mention other musicians who have put a special focus on mental health and therapy, including Louis Capaldi, who is partnered with BetterHelp, and Ariana Grande, who is also partnered with BetterHelp. The whole concept behind BetterHelp is even more atrocious than just traditional talk therapy, because you're texting random strangers who are essentially call center employees because you can't make the effort to just get out of your bed, out of your pile of like DoorDash wrappers, to try to improve your life.
I saw this the other day. Louis Capaldi donates 734,000 hours of free therapy to those in need.
BetterHelp has been mired in controversy for years now as well.
Really? Like what? What's the controversy?
I think it was because a lot of the therapists on BetterHelp had questionable credentials. And
you do not say.
Yeah.
You don't say.
You know, this is selling people the idea that you can text with a therapist who you have never met and will never meet.
I think there's a reason why, like, most therapists don't do therapy over text with their patients. They're like, well, you got to commit. Wait till you come in or whatever, you know, unless they're unless they're severely distressed and have some kind of mental illness where the therapist has to talk them off a ledge, hopefully figuratively. You know, like it's just not something that therapists tend to do.
Do you think it's just inevitable that the lifestyle of being a touring musician, both being the star of it, Olivia Rodrigo, or the rest of the crew that are coming with her across the globe, is just going to be a mentally taxing lifestyle? Like, is it just inevitable that that's going to cause them to have mental health struggles?
No, I think that there are some people that are cut out for it, and there are some people that are not cut out for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And it's not about like, it's not that it's too much for everyone. It's just that some people, the type that like that kind of lifestyle of, you know, having a not a very scheduled life. Some people need a very, very scheduled life, and you really don't get that on tour. You do have a schedule that you have to stick to, but you're waking up in a different place. Where you're going to the bathroom is always different. Where you're showering is always different. All these things are different. And as you get to the, you know, as you make more money and become more successful, it does get easier because you're playing in nicer venues. You generally will have a dressing room and stuff, but still there are all of the inconsistencies that happen with it. So I think that it's a problem for some people, but I think that it's fine for others. So.
The lack of privacy, the lack of routine, the lack of stability, not being able to be with your loved ones on a regular basis, I imagine is difficult.
20 there.
Pop Culture Junkie said, I had therapy for 6 months when I was 11 because my mom thought I was a bit hyperactive. I ran into my therapist 15 years later in a bar. He told me there was nothing wrong with me at the time. Well, I mean...
props for remembering.
I suppose, aren't therapists supposed to discontinue treatment when they believe you don't need it?
That was generally the result that I got when I went to therapy. I went to therapy a couple times and for a short period of time, and I'm just like, basically I was just like, am I the crazy one? And the therapist is like, nah, not really, you know, these are fairly normal things to think and concern yourself with and stuff. And I was like, sick. And so then I stopped going.
To what you were saying about some people just not being cut out for it, it seems like some of the people who are the least cut out for it are the most successful.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
the ones who tend towards exorbitant hedonism, drug use, and alcohol.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's that people that decide to go into touring tend to be. I don't know if touring makes things problematic for people, or if people that would have a problematic lifestyle tend to go into touring. But
it's probably the latter.
There's a very, very there's a lot of people that don't really fit into normal life that are on tour, whether they be artists or crew and stuff. People that are really creative and productive and can function in the real world normally tend to be the people that are either they're the artists that kind of manage their own careers, or they're in some kind of management position. Like you get a lot of like tour managers have to have their stuff together, right? Like if you're in charge of a tour, you have to be able to manage a whole crew. You have to be able to manage the bus, logistics of everything. So they tend to have their stuff together. If you're a drum tech, you can just be like, as long as the drums are good or whatever, as long as the drums are tuned and my drummer's happy, I'm like, whatever. So
one of the replies said, damn, her tour is so traumatic that she had to pay for their therapy. Like, that is kind of what people will take away from a headline like this.
Kinda.
Like, what are you putting your crew through that they're like traumatized and need therapy during and after?
They're theater kids. They're theater kids.
There is a lot of theater kids, or there are a lot of theater kids, I suppose.
Well, I mean, if you're a Lizzo backup dancer, you're definitely going to be traumatized.
I mean, that's actual
by that
trauma, but the rest of them are just theater kids who aren't cut out for this type of stuff because artists tend to the emotional side.
We're going to find out in a couple of years that Olivia Rodrigo is like forcing her backup dancers to eat bananas out of strippers.
No, she'll be like, take the Plan B
true,
pill.
It's so funny how like Lizzo just got skinny and everyone forgot that she had the banana incident.
Yep. They're like, look, we can forgive her.
Yeah, no, it's not just that they forgave. They literally just forgot. It got completely memory hold.
So the real question is how does Taylor Swift one-up this when she eventually goes back on tour?
I think her giving bonuses to her truck drivers and her entire crew is probably way better for their lives than providing therapy. So Taylor Swift still one-ups Olivia Rodrigo in this count.
Plus the therapy for Olivia Rodrigo is probably sponsored and free. Like it was just like the stuff from Louis Capaldi. Like that's like the BetterHelp is like, sure, we'll pay for part of it because it's great promotion.
The BetterHelp ads are so insane. Like one that I was continually seeing was the actor is in a dressing room at a clothing store and she's having a bunch of body image issues, so she texts her BetterHelp therapist about it and then everything's fine.
That's how it works.
Texting a random stranger who probably doesn't even speak fluent English on the other side of the globe about your body image issues is not going to improve your life. Okay?
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.